So today's video was intended originally to be in collaboration with another creator, but I just kind of fell in love with the way the video turned out, so I wanted to share it here, and of course we're going to link to the other creator for the full series as well. So be sure to stay tuned and play along. So we're gonna skip the regular intro for now because that's coming later in the actual recording, but as I mentioned before, this video was actually pre-recorded about a week ago, and it was done for a channel collaboration with the one and only Brandon, also known as Freezin' Factor online. His link, of course, will be in the video description below. Now, the general idea of this video was to share a story, whether it's a one-time story or maybe just an overall scenario of what gaming or game rentals meant to you at any time in your life. So I share the story of really what it meant to me in kind of the majority of my upbringing, from a smaller child, kind of middle school age, all the way up to high school. Now, once you're done watching this video, I want you guys to jump in the comment section below, and I want you to leave your stories of what gaming has meant to you in the past, or what it means to you currently, and also whether or not you guys have any fantastic or memorable rental experiences, and I can't wait to read all of them. So here's my pre-recorded clip. What's going on, everyone? My name is Andrew, also known as QuasiDog online, and I wanted to share with you guys a very quick story about some pretty awesome rental experiences that I had in the past. Now, it's not necessarily one story, but it's mainly like a scenario or a situation that I became accustomed to pretty well all through middle school, and even more so early on into high school as well. So to start everything off, I want to say that I lived in an exceptionally small town. So small, in fact, that my grade 8 class had 5 people, counting myself, that moved on into high school. But we lived about an hour away from the closest rental store to get any decent games anyway. There was a little store near me, but it really just had a whole lot of junk and very old titles. So my father at the time actually worked in, I guess we'll call it Moncton, the city that I guess he worked in. This is gonna be a ramble one take, but stay with me because it's gonna be awesome in the end. So he worked Monday through Friday, and he would usually be home right around like 5 p.m. and then he was home all weekend and then back to school on Monday. So my task starting at the beginning of the week on Monday was to think for the entire week about what game I wanted to rent for the weekend. Once I had my decision, it was my job every single Friday to call the store. It's called Gamezilla. Believe it or not, it's actually still around. And I would call and I would get Jason. And Jason and I had a great friendship at the time, which is weird to say because he was an adult and I would have been a small child. But I would tell Jason that my father was on his way and could you please hold? One of them was Gecko. I remember I really wanted, if that's even the name, I think it was N64, but it had a gecko. Brandon, you will correct me because I know that you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. But I would call Jason, he would set it aside, my father would go, he would rent it, I'd keep it for the weekend, all of my friends would come over, or maybe I'd just have a weekend to myself, play whatever game it was, have the time of my life, and then the game would go back off with my father on Monday. And we literally did this song and dance over and over again for years. And that relationship gets so tight between myself and Jason and my father that all of a sudden, especially around the Dreamcast era, I was lucky enough to have one, and they really didn't take off, at least in my neck of the woods, and I think kind of worldwide they flopped a little bit. But Jason would always expect my father every Friday, the same time, and he actually started making like gift bags of sometimes like 5 or 6 or 7 games that just weren't renting very well, or he just knew they weren't gonna move, and my dad would bring them home and I'd play them all weekend long, and then they would go back on the Monday, and that was pretty well my regular routine until I either grew out of that myself or got my license at 16 and was able to go and either rent or buy games more efficiently on my own. But I tell you, it's not one story, it's not one experience, but this was a generalized experience that happened for years and years, and it's something that I will forever remember, and something that I think helped cement my love for gaming and just the industry and for what it can bring somebody, especially for me in a small town where I didn't have outlets for fun. We biked, we played, but sometimes my friends would have hockey, which I didn't play, and I needed something to keep myself occupied, and that's the gaming rental memory or experience over the long term that I'm going to take with me and I'm going to remember the most. Thanks so much for inviting me in this small video collab, Brandon. Always appreciated, and we'll talk soon, big guy. Take care. All right, so that was it. Thank you so much for watching. And again, be sure to play along and let me know in the description what sort of memory you may have from renting games in the past or maybe even the present as well. Also, be sure to check this whole series out on Brandon's channel. Again, it is linked in the video description below. And until the next video, guys, my name is QuazyDog. You guys have been awesome, and we'll catch you all in the next video. Take care.